Imagine reaching the life you once called success. The salary is higher, the house is larger, your calendar is full. People call you fortunate, but you wake before sunrise to answer messages. You postpone dinner with the people you love. Your body feels older than it should. The work that once excited you now consumes the space where curiosity used to live. On paper, you are richer than ever. In life, you may be quietly going bankrupt. This is the central challenge in Sahil Bloom's The 5 Types of Wealth. Money matters, but money is only one part of a wealthy life. If it becomes the only scoreboard, we can win every visible contest while losing the life those victories were supposed to create. The problem begins with measurement. Money is easy to count. Salary, bank balance, house price, promotion, time with a child, trust between friends, strength in the body, or a sense of purpose resist one clean number. So we measure what is easiest, then mistake it for what matters most. Bloom replaces that incomplete scoreboard with 5 forms of wealth: time, social, mental, physical, and financial wealth. Picture them as 5 parts of one living system. Time wealth is freedom over your hours. Social wealth is the depth of your human connections. Mental wealth is purpose, growth, and inner space. Physical wealth is health and vitality. Financial wealth is security, independence, and an awareness of enough. The goal is not a perfect score in all 5 forever. Life has seasons, and different seasons demand different priorities. The goal is to see the trade before it becomes a crisis. Because one form of wealth can quietly consume the other 4. Time wealth. Start with time wealth. Many people believe they need better time management. But the deeper question is not whether every minute is efficiently used. It is whether your time still belongs to you. A calendar can be completely organized and still represent a life designed by other people's demands. Time wealth means having meaningful control over how your days are spent. It includes the ability to protect attention, to choose what deserves urgency, and to make room for activities that create energy rather than only consume it. Consider 2 people working the same number of hours. One is exhausted because every hour feels imposed, fragmented, and disconnected from what matters. The other is tired but fulfilled because the work was chosen, focused, and aligned with a larger purpose. The number of hours may be identical. The experience of ownership is not. Here is a simple Soul Pages exercise. Open last week's calendar and mark each major block with one of 3 symbols: a plus sign for activities that created energy, a minus sign for activities that drained it, a circle for activities that were necessary but neutral. Do not immediately eliminate every minus. Life contains duty. Instead, ask which draining commitments are temporary, which can be redesigned, and which have become permanent only because you stopped questioning them. Time wealth is not endless leisure. It is the power to spend more of your finite life deliberately. But free time becomes strangely empty when no meaningful relationships remain inside it. Social wealth. That brings us to social wealth. Modern success often rewards visible networks, followers, contacts, clients, invitations, and access. But a large network can exist beside profound loneliness. Social wealth asks a more uncomfortable question. Who truly knows you? Not your job title, not your polished update, not the version of you that performs competence. Who notices when your voice changes? Who can tell you the truth without losing your trust? Who would sit beside you when there is nothing to gain? Connection has breadth and depth. Communities create opportunity and belonging. Deep relationships create safety and honesty. We need both, but breadth is easier to display. 1,000 people can applaud your achievement. That does not guarantee one person will understand its cost. Try this. Imagine the front row at the most important moments of your life. A celebration, a failure, a hospital room, a final goodbye. Whose faces belong there? Now compare that answer with your calendar, your messages, and your attention over the last month. Love is not only what we feel, it is what repeatedly receives our time. Bloom's broader framework also reminds us that strong relationships require us to show up in the way another person needs, not only in the way that feels natural to us. Sometimes a person wants help. Sometimes they want to be heard. Sometimes they simply need comfort. Social wealth grows when presence becomes more important than performance. Yet even the best relationships cannot answer the private question of what your own life is for. Mental wealth, that is the territory of mental wealth. Mental wealth is not simply intelligence qualifications, or constant positivity. It is the inner capacity to live with purpose, curiosity, growth, and enough psychological space to hear your own thoughts. A person can become highly competent and internally motionless. They repeat what they already know, protect an identity built years ago, and become too busy maintaining success to remain curious. Mental wealth keeps the inner world alive. It asks, are you learning because something fascinates you, or only because it improves your professional value? Can you sit in silence without immediately reaching for stimulation? Are your goals genuinely yours, or inherited from an environment you never examined? Purpose does not always arrive as one dramatic calling. It can be a direction, problems worth solving, people worth serving, qualities worth embodying, and work you would respect without applause. Create 1 hour each week with no commercial objective. Read outside your field. Write without publishing. Study a question that may never become profitable. Walk without headphones long enough for an unfinished thought to return. This is not wasted time. It protects the part of you that can still become someone new. But the mind does not move through life alone. It is carried by the body. Physical wealth. Physical wealth is the ability to participate in your own life. It is usable energy, strength, endurance, mobility, and enough recovery to begin again tomorrow. Health is often invisible until it disappears. We trade sleep for productivity, movement for convenience, and recovery for one more task. The reward arrives immediately. The cost collects quietly. Then one day, the body sends an invoice for years of neglect. Physical wealth does not require turning life into a fitness competition. It requires building a sustainable floor beneath your future. Ask yourself a different question from, what is the perfect routine? Ask, what is the smallest weekly standard I can maintain during difficult seasons? It might include regular walking, basic strength work, consistent sleep, nourishing food, medical care, and protected recovery. The exact design will differ, but the principle is stable. The body should not receive only whatever time remains after everything else has taken its share. Imagine meeting yourself 20 years from now. That future person will not care about the workout you performed perfectly for 12 days. They will care about the ordinary habits you repeated for years. Physical wealth is not a photograph of the body. It is access to life. Financial wealth. Now we reach financial wealth. This framework is not an argument against money. Financial wealth protects every other category. It can purchase safety, healthcare, education, time, and the freedom to leave harmful situations. A lack of money can turn small problems into emergencies. Money matters, but there is a difference between more money and more freedom. Without a definition of enough, every financial achievement moves the finish line. Lifestyle expands. Comparison introduces a new standard. The income that once represented freedom becomes the minimum required to maintain a life that now feels impossible to leave. This is why awareness of enough is part of financial wealth. Enough is not universal. It depends on responsibilities, health, family, location, and the life you want. But without any number, the pursuit has no natural ending. Ask 3 questions. What amount provides basic security? What amount creates meaningful independence? What level of spending supports the life I value without forcing me to sacrifice the other 4 forms of wealth? The purpose is not to stop growing. It is to ensure that growth is still serving a chosen life rather than replacing it. The 5 types is one system. Now bring the 5 forms together. A person with money but no time may use wealth to escape the life that created it. A person with time but no financial stability may live under constant fear. A person with relationships but no mental space may lose their own direction. A person with purpose but no physical vitality may be unable to act on it. A person with health but no connection may live long without feeling deeply known. The categories are separate enough to measure, but connected enough to change one another. That is why the weakest category may not be the one causing the most visible pain. A damaged relationship may appear as overwork. Financial fear may appear as insomnia. Lack of purpose may appear as endless consumption. Poor physical health may shrink social life and mental resilience. A calendar without freedom may make every other success feel strangely empty. The framework turns vague dissatisfaction into a map. The personal wealth audit? Here is a 5-minute personal audit. Score each category from 1 to 10, not as a judgment, but as a snapshot. Time. How much control do I have over my attention and schedule? Social. Do I have relationships with depth, trust, and mutual presence? Mental. Do I experience purpose, curiosity, growth, and inner space? Physical. Does my body have the health and vitality to support my life? Financial. Do I have security, increasing independence, and a definition of enough? Then resist the urge to repair everything at once. Choose the category where one small improvement would create the greatest positive spillover. A daily walk may improve energy and clarity. One financial plan may reduce anxiety. One protected evening may restore a relationship. 1 hour of curiosity may reopen a lost direction. A wealthy life is not built by maximizing every category every day. It is built by noticing the trade-offs, correcting chronic neglect, and choosing consciously across changing seasons. Final truth. Return to the person from the beginning. The salary, the house, and the full calendar may remain. The answer is not necessarily to abandon ambition, resign, or reject success. The answer is to ask whether those achievements are financing a life or consuming it. Money is visible, so the world will often praise it first. But the deepest forms of wealth are experienced privately. An unhurried morning, a body that carries you, a mind that still grows, people who know you, and enough financial freedom to choose with dignity. A wealthy life is not the one that looks most impressive from a distance. It is the one that remains worth living from the inside. So look at your 5-part scoreboard honestly. Which form of wealth are you currently sacrificing to appear successful in another?